So what do your artwork represent? I see we have these great pieces here, and also you were just telling me you have. Tell the audience, I think you said 450 pieces?
About 450 pieces right now, just in stock, stashed, and, some of them are already out in the world. I sent a number of them, like during my travels, I met people and I would send pieces signed to different countries because that's where they were going. Right. So I know that I have work pretty much everywhere.
Welcome to the Artist Connection, brought to you by Greenwood Park Gallery and Framing. My name is Fred Robinson, and today we bring you Milwaukee local artist Mason. Thank you, Mason.
Thank you
for participating in this. This has been a journey for us, and I really appreciate you participating. And just like all the artists, I appreciate it.
Right.
So, as we were just talking, you were mentioning something about where you're from and your family. So give us a brief description of yourself and what you do and where you're from.
So originally from Milwaukee, family all over, and we were speaking specifically about the spelling of my first name, and my grandfather being Creole and my grandmother being Blackfoot, and tracing that at least 4 generations here on this land alone. What I do, as you can see here, is a number of different types of art. My main thing is utilizing art in order to elicit propaganda. So not in a way that it is bad, but it exposes and brings awareness to different topics that I study.
Okay.
And that ranges from everything. My main study as of late has been sovereignty, nationality, the use of the UCC and things of that nature. So you can see a lot of that stuff. It'll be all on my garments now because they're things that I identify with wholly. So I have to now live these things out in my life. So that's where I am now.
Okay. Now you mentioned about your garments.
Yes.
The art that you have on now, is that something that you did?
Yes.
Explain to the audience.
What you have here on the pocket, and then we start all matters over the heart. That's where a lot of your pain points come from. That's where a lot of your desires come from, is from the heart.
Okay.
And we know the heart to take in blue blood and give out the red. That's the alchemy of life, or at least from me to you, or from, going to sleep and arising again the next day. So again, always starting with the heart. And then over the heart, I have the question of asking the people, are you the principal or is it the principle?
Okay.
Get what I'm saying? Because there are two different things that happen when you address yourself as the principal, or the surety in the principal, when it deals with the UCC, and that's again something that I've been studying. And from what I understand, the person, both living and the thing that's created at your birth, you're both.
Okay. So,
and it just depends on how you use it. And then my garments address the number of different phases that you go through during this time, during this awakening. At the very least, you're going to see so many different things over the course of it. You're going to see so many different people and how they treat you when they figure out that you're utilizing what has been, taboo for so long. So
right.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah. So now you mentioned education. So give the audience some information on what you did to get to this point, educational wise.
So graduated from Riverside. From Riverside, I went right into Whitewater. And then from there, I started in chemistry because chemistry was my thing in high school. That's just, it's still a thing for me, knowing the elements, utilizing the elements. But then I went to find myself drawing on everything again, like I was doing in high school. So I'm like, well, let me put this energy into what my first love. Again, we're dealing with the heart matter.
Yes.
So my desire was to create, and through use of elements, yes, I could create reactions, but they weren't lasting. You know, they only gave an impression of that, what do they call it, that immediate gratification, that there, that now. I put this in, I got that out. With my artwork, I was able to do a lot more as far as helping that feeling of putting something in and getting it out. It lasts a lot longer. It's something that I can speak on to many different people just over the course of that. So I did a lot of screen printing, a lot of intaglio, a lot of print work, and then drawing was like one of my specializations while I was there. That and art history. So I studied art history while I was in school. Right. That was interesting. Now
you mentioned Riverside. Is that where you started your art career, or did that start well before high school?
My art career started at Brown Street Academy. I remember this gentleman, Timothy Vang, Vang or Yang, and I don't want to misquote you, bro, but he used to sit next to me in class, and I'm talking about come up with some. I'm just like, what is this? But I was urged to continue to try and do it for myself, and that after that point, it was everything was for me, or at least art. So,
right.
Yeah.
So what do your artwork represent? I see we have these great pieces here, and also you were just telling me you have. Tell the audience, I think you said 450 pieces?
About 450 pieces right now, just in stock, stashed, and, some of them are already out in the world. I sent a number of them, like during my travels, I met people and I would send pieces signed to different countries because that's where they were going. Right. So I know that I have work pretty much everywhere.
Greenwood Park Gallery and Framing, open for all of your art needs. Located at 4233 West Fond du Lac Avenue, open Mondays through Fridays, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Now featuring African American and contemporary artwork for local, national, and international artists. Your local shop for masks and statuettes, mud cloths, royal cloths, and salt lamps. Call 414-444-5166 or follow their Facebook. Greenwood Park Gallery and Framing, 4233 West Fond du Lac Avenue.
Well, not everywhere, but in places that I've wanted them to be, especially giving them away, like that. So,
yes, gifting them,
passing along.
Right.
Because it meant something to those people at that time. For me, it was again something I studied that just came out,
Right.
Yeah,
I find that dope. I think in life, you have to recycle your blessings, man. And everything is not about $1.
Yeah.
So that piece might have impacted that individual so great.
Definitely.
So in regards to what your art represents, these three pieces plus your whole body of art, does it represent one thing, or is it representing? Each piece is representing. Explain to the audience.
It all depends on what I'm researching.
Okay.
And I take the frustration of attempting to understand the things that I'm taking in by putting it on paper.
Right.
At the very least, through my interpretation of what it was that was there, or the raw nature of that feeling that I got after I finished reading. And sometimes I'm angry, which you can see here in this piece. You got the fire flowing up, but the rest of it beneath is all of the things that I began to understand once the frustration subsided. So I was able to get a clearer picture to manifest out of the frustration of the things that I've studied over time. These particular pieces represent my studies of sovereignty, the beginnings of the world as far as written and orated history go, things like Islam and, again, nationality and, who were the people who were guardians over these lands outside of what, God created us to do, to have dominion. These things had to come from somewhere. They had to be recorded from someone or by someone. And those caricatures are listed in a number of history books, but I've taken them to put them, but in place of what I can readily identify in the world now.
Yes.
So all the way down to the stars, man, there are a number of different things that we talk about in the stars, or at least from where we're from, or our lineage goes as far as the stars and even beyond that. So it represents everything.
Everything. I get it, man. I get it. So how has your education played a part in your craft?
Man, I would say the biggest thing that changed me was the ability to critique. Those were like I would say the most visceral moments of my collegiate career, was going in front of people and having to explain to them why I chose to use this color, or why I didn't use this color, or why I chose to, pick a specific palette or substrate, whatever it was. But critiquing granted me the ability to stand my ground and to articulate the things that I had read. Even if the class was, mostly confused, I was able to give them something from what I had studied and give them the breadcrumbs, so to speak. If you really want to know what it is that you're looking at, go here. Find this here, or this is the article that I read, and that article led me to that. So it helped me to understand, what do they call it, reverse research. So if there was a works cited page, this would be it for me. My work. It tells me where I've been and where I'm, where I'm headed now.
Like a journal, would you say?
Like a journal.
You
know what? That's the first. I never thought of it like that, but yes, these are my visual journals and the things that I continue to code into my life and to those who come around.
Okay. In regards to art and your personal life, what is your daily routine? Like, what do you wake up, so on and so on. Tell the audience what you're.
Well, of course we have, not of course, but we have probably 3 altars in our home. And these things we go to in the morning, or whenever the mood strikes. If we're led to get up and start our day, it don't matter if it's daytime or 3, 4 in the morning. I usually start by chiming the bell to elicit the energy to come into me, or at the very least to release the things that I'm confused about throughout the night. Because we dream when we sleep, or at least when we check out of this self. We go elsewhere. And oftentimes those interpretations that I receive during the day, it flusters me. So I have to get up and meet them at the altar. This is what I got for the day. Y'all take it. If you got something for me, then feed it back to me when you can. But other than that, that's how I start every day. I try to go to my altar, or at least one of the family altars that we have in the home, and just release. Because if I don't, then my day is bogged by the question of what did I just see? So that's my main start. And
you got it. You kind of, one of those things. You kind of got to get ready to endure the world. And this sometimes wicked society. And you gotta get that energy into your system. So now when you leave your domain, you gotta use that. You gotta have those tools. You gotta pray. You gotta create that positive energy and then go out there.
Right. And not every day is positive, and I've learned to utilize the negative energy as well, if we can even call it negative.
The Artist Connection podcast was generated from many conversations with local artists around the lack of opportunity to showcase their talent. Here at Greenwood Park Gallery and Framing, we recognize our local talent and strive to connect artists with the community. Please enjoy this opportunity to hear from local artists and learn more about what inspires their work.
Greenwood Park Gallery and Framing specializes in custom framing, printing on canvas, and selling contemporary and African American art, all housed in our 3,000 square foot art gallery. We are centrally located in Milwaukee at 4233 West Fond du Lac Avenue. We recognize local artists and strive to connect local talent with the community. We're asking for your support. Contact us to find out how you can help sponsor the work we're doing to highlight local artists in our community.